the Bible Forum. I'm Warren Sprouse. We're here every Sunday night from 8 until 10 p.m. Eastern. Love for you to join us. Tell your friends. I want to talk to you a little bit tonight about the Transgender Legacy. The BBC has released a movie, a TV show, I don't know which, but it's called Seahorse, the Dad Who Gave Birth. It seeks to affirm transgenderism, offer people who believe they were assigned a wrong gender at birth the hope they need. Now, the whole industry stands foursquare against anything right or good. The industry mocks God. The industry overturns natural selection. The industry panders to people who reject both of these. But here on HBO, Netflix, and a host of lesser companies, we find pandering to this insane idea that DNA is not going to decide for us just who and what we are. If you think you're a boy, then you are. If you think you're a girl, then you are. If you think you're a dog, well, that's kind of silly, foolish. Maybe wait as time evolves. Once the natural barriers are breached, there isn't anything sacred. And just who is it that's behind all this? The social anarchists? Architects? The sexual deviants? The media? No. Behind all of this is the enemy of God, one who is intent on destroying any and all things related to God, and in this case, created by God. You see, God's highest creation is human beings. We are created in the image of God. Male and female created he them. Destroy that illusion, and God is damaged. Or so the enemy believes. Oh, and we have Transhood. Transhood is a movie, a TV show, a book, I don't know. But apparently Transhood follows the families of 4 gender-confused children in Kansas City over 5 years. It's a powerful piece of professional storytelling, they tell us, designed to exploit the natural empathy of the viewer, playing to your sympathies. You watch this and you witness parents breaking down as they struggle to understand and to respond to gender dysphoria, their children struggling to cope. All of this they learn in school, by the way. Not that children are not different. They always have been, but now they do not have to compensate for their feelings and desires. You see, they can be whatever they feel they are, no matter what. And you become the problem because you don't understand. Social and medical transition are presented as the only ways to deal with the struggles these families face. The false doctrine, the false choices, the choice of transition or suicide is one of the foundational underlying premises of the trans movement. It's why this thing called transphobia, the fear of those who live opposite their genetic makeup, can be presented as lethal hatred, because those who oppose puberty blockers and transition for teens and children are sentencing these young people to almost inevitable suicide. No, it is not their counterintuitive, countercultural passions. It's you. Psychologists such as Dr. Wallace Wong of British Columbia have even been caught advising trans kids to threaten suicide in order to speed up their transition. In an event hosted by the Vancouver Public Library, he stated that children with gender dysphoria discover quickly that threatening suicide will get them results. They learn that very fast, he said. Wildly popular trans influencers online advise other kids on what to say to doctors, therapists, and parents in order to get diagnosed as trans. Emotional blackmail, charged with fear, is an incredibly powerful tool. As is often the case with propaganda films, most disturbing is what the filmmakers clearly do not find disturbing. The story of Phoenix showcases all the dangers of trans ideology, but the filmmakers don't see it. Here's a 4-year-old boy who enjoys dressing in girls' clothes. His parents assume, because of that he is a girl. At a service of the Unitarian Universalist Church, a female clergy person invites any LGBT person to come up and give their testimony. Phoenix's mother drags him to the front and hands him the mic. The little boy refuses it, so she does the deed for him. Phoenix would like you to know that she's a girl and she prefers she and her pronouns. She and her as pronouns. The congregation responds in droning unison. May you be well, safe, and whole. We honor you exactly as you are. They've been taught to say that. There is no being born again in this church. There's not even born this way. This is entirely something else. This is transhood. Transhood is intended to be the beautiful story of children exploring their gender identity in an evolving culture. Instead, it showcases a tragedy unfolding in homes across America as the rates of gender crisis in children and teens skyrocket. Crises that we don't hear about. A few years ago, 2/100ths to 3/100ths% of girls identified as transgender. Now that number is 2% and rising quickly. And the world is bending over backward for 2% of the children. Dr. Lisa Littman of Brown University calls it a social contagion. In the 5 short years since transhood went mainstream, adolescence has become a haze of puberty blockers, testosterone shots, sex change surgeries, and gender confusion for untold numbers of young children. Much of the damage being done is irreversible. Children like Avery, Phoenix, and so many others will one day be able to tell us, in their own words, what it was like to be the guinea pigs in a massive social experiment. I suspect that they will not be kind.